If you want it bad enough, you will stop making excuses. Hey champion, welcome to Limitless Mind Motivation. Today, kill your excuses before they kill your dreams. You've been saying, "I'll start tomorrow" for too long. Tomorrow turned into next week, and next week into next year. You've watched your dreams fade, not because you weren't capable, but because you kept waiting for the perfect moment. But the truth is, there's no perfect moment. There's only now. Every time you say later, you hand your power to fear. Every time you delay your destiny. The people you admire, they're not smarter than you. They just acted when they didn't feel ready. He used to stare at the ceiling every night, phone glowing in his hand, scrolling through other people's lives. People traveling, building, succeeding. And he'd whisper to himself, "One day, I'll do something great." But one day never came, because every time morning arrived, comfort showed up first. Comfort said, "Stay a little longer." Comfort said, "You're tired. You deserve a break." And he listened. He didn't know that comfort is the quiet killer of potential. It doesn't scream. It hums you to sleep. You say you want a better life, but every excuse you make is a lullaby. And somewhere inside, a voice keeps asking, do you really want it? Or do you just like the sound of wanting? Because if you want it bad enough, you'll stop making excuses. He was 29, had a degree that didn't excite him, a job that barely paid the bills, and a list of dreams written in a dusty notebook he hadn't opened in months. He lived alone in a one-room apartment where the walls were thin and the rent was due every first Friday. Every morning he'd set the alarm for 5 a.m. And every morning he'd hit snooze. "I'll start next week," he'd say. "I just need a plan. I just need motivation." By evening, he'd convince himself he was too drained to work on his goals. So he'd watch another episode, order takeout, promise himself he'd make up for it on Saturday. But Saturday became Sunday, and Sunday became regret. The truth, he wasn't lazy, he was scared. Scared of failing, scared of looking stupid, scared that maybe he didn't have what it takes. So he built a house out of excuses and called it safety. One night, the power went out. No Wi-Fi, no distractions, just darkness and silence. He lit a candle and finally opened that old notebook. The first page read, "My goals for 2019. He smiled bitterly. It was 4 years ago. Page after page, half-formed ideas, a business concept, a YouTube channel, a fitness plan, all abandoned halfway through. It hit him. He'd fallen in love with potential, not progress. He remembered all the people he envied online and realized the difference wasn't talent. It was follow-through. Everyone wants the feeling of achievement. Few want the process that earns it. Desire without discipline is a daydream. And he'd been dreaming for years. Days turned into months. Every excuse carved a little more of his confidence away. When his boss raised his voice at work, he swallowed his pride instead of changing his path. When his friends advanced in their careers, he congratulated them, but secretly felt smaller. And at night, he'd open that same app, scroll through success stories and whisper, "I could have been that." Excuses are expensive. They cost time, trust, and self-respect. Each "I'll start tomorrow" robbed him of a piece of belief in himself. Until one day, belief was gone. He wasn't losing because life was unfair. He was losing because he chose the easier loss, the one that comes quietly, without confrontation. It was a Thursday. He came home to find a letter taped to his door, late rent notice. He sat on the floor, letter in hand, and felt the weight of every wasted hour crash over him. His phone buzzed. Another motivational quote from a friend. He laughed, not because it was funny, but because it hurt. Tears rolled down his face, not loud tears, just quiet ones. That was the moment he broke. He whispered, "I'm tired of this version of me." He realized no one was coming to fix it. No miracle, no rescue, just him. He took a notebook and wrote 2 sentences. No more excuses. No more waiting. That night he set 3 alarms, and when they rang, he got up. No negotiation. No 5 more minutes. He worked out in the cold morning air until his lungs burned. He wrote for 1 hour before work. He made a budget, cut streaming subscriptions, stopped eating out. The first week hurt. The second week tested him. By the third, he started to see changes, not outside, but inside. He was regaining trust in himself, and that trust was priceless. Discipline isn't dramatic. It's boring, repetitive, quiet. It's saying no 10,000 times when no one's watching. He learned to treat his goals like rent, do every day, even when tired, even when uninspired. He started small, 30 minutes of study before dawn. 1 hour on his side hustle after work. Journaling every night, no matter how exhausted. He still failed. He still overslept sometimes, but this time he didn't quit because of it. He simply began again. And every restart made his excuses weaker. Pain became familiar. Muscles sore, eyes heavy, mind doubtful. But underneath that pain there was a pulse, progress. He realized success isn't fireworks. It's quiet mornings and lonely nights. It's doing the right thing when no one claps. People began to notice. His boss asked what changed. Friends said he seemed different, calmer, sharper, focused. He smiled, because the change wasn't luck. It was the death of excuses. Maybe you see yourself in him. Maybe you're tired too. Tired of starting over. Tired of breaking promises to yourself. Listen, you don't need permission to begin. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need one decision. No more excuses. Because the gap between you and the life you want is not luck, not talent, but the choices you make when it's uncomfortable. There's a version of you that doesn't flinch, that doesn't wait for motivation, that doesn't hide behind someday. He's already inside you. He's just buried under comfort. So dig him out. Stand up. Do the thing you keep postponing. Send the email. Go to the gym. Start the business. Make the call. Write the first page. And when it gets hard, and it will, remember this. The pain you feel from growth will never be as heavy as the regret of excuses. If you truly want it, prove it. Stop talking. Start moving. Because once you do, once you trade excuses for effort, you'll realize you were never waiting for the right moment. The right moment was always waiting for you. If you want it bad enough, you will stop making excuses. So today, kill the excuses. Silence procrastination. You owe it to yourself to start, even if it's messy, even if it's small. Because progress beats perfection every single time. If this message moved you, don't just watch it.